You cannot demand clarity from life while carrying a vague map in your mind. Everything you are receiving, opportunities, relationships, results, emotions, is a precise reflection of the clarity in your daily thinking. Those who live with blurred thoughts create blurred outcomes. They want to change, but don't know where they're heading. They say they want success, but can't define what that actually means. They take action, but not for a specific purpose, only out of fear of standing still. And the result? They run but arrive nowhere. They try hard but see no progress. They do a lot, but none of it touches the deeper layers of who they are. I've seen intelligent people, full of ability, passion, and ambition, but they didn't fail due to lack of talent. They failed because their minds were in disarray. They thought a lot, but not clearly. They set goals, but vaguely. They said, I want to change my life, yet couldn't articulate change what, into what shape, by when, through what method, and why it matters so deeply. In the realm of the subconscious, unclear commands are ignored. It's like telling a ship, just sail somewhere there's a shore. It will drift endlessly, never docking. The mind needs direction, and the subconscious needs specific instruction. Without it, you can't expect it to rally its resources for you. It does not respond to vague wishes. It only activates when given a clear image, repeated frequently, infused with consistent emotion and absolute belief. If you feed the subconscious mixed signals, today wanting wealth, tomorrow fearing failure, the day after craving comfort, how is it supposed to guide you? It will keep you exactly where you are, because that is its default response, safety. And safety in a world of fuzzy thinking is the killer of all breakthroughs. You want to stand out? Then do what most people don't. Think like someone who's already clear. That doesn't require degrees, luck, or approval. It only requires that you pause long enough to look directly at this question. What do I truly want? Specifically, measurably, within a time frame and backed by deep personal reasons. And if you can't yet answer that with a short, weighty sentence, then don't be too quick to blame life for not opening doors for you. Life only opens doors when you know exactly which door you're knocking on. I'm telling you this not from books, but from lived experience. Profound change does not begin with action, but with clarity in thought. When you know exactly what you want, why you want it, and are willing to say no to everything misaligned with that goal, you begin to create a magnetic pull, not a mystical force, but the gravity of someone living with intention. You become a magnet for the right opportunities, the right people, the right outcomes. And that doesn't happen by chance. It is the reward of sharp thinking. On the other hand, if you continue to live in ambiguity with no clear frame of reference, then everything will continue to pass through you without leaving a mark. You'll start something new with passion, then quit halfway. You'll change jobs but carry the same old mindset. You'll meet someone new and repeat the same patterns in the relationship. None of this is destiny. It all stems from internal vagueness left unresolved. Clarity is not pressure. Clarity is liberation. It helps you stop wasting energy on what doesn't matter. It tells you what is a yes, what is a no. It turns every decision into a step toward your goal, instead of just reactions to temporary emotions. And here's the miracle. Clarity is not an inborn gift. It is a skill. It is trained by writing down goals, asking why repeatedly, eliminating noise, and committing to a single image. The more specific that image, the easier it becomes to issue commands to your subconscious. And when the subconscious receives a strong enough directive, it begins to coordinate your life toward that path with precision. If you don't choose to live clearly, the world will choose for you. It will stuff your mind with ads, biases, others' expectations, and societal standards. And you will end up living a life that isn't truly yours, waking up each morning not knowing why today matters. That is not freedom. That is drifting. And drifting over the years leads to exhaustion. People grow weary, not from lack of effort, but from not knowing where their effort is leading them. So, if you've been working hard, living decently, learning diligently, and still feel like life isn't moving, The problem may not lie in your actions, but in your thought foundation. You need to pause. You need to rewrite. Not something vague, but precisely what you are committed to pursuing until the end, regardless of whether the world understands. That is where real power begins. Starting today, delete every vague phrase from your vocabulary. I want to do better. I'm trying. I hope to change. These lack the power to generate transformation. Replace them with clear declarations, time-bound, visually concrete, and fueled by essential reasons. Don't just say, I want to succeed. Say, I am building ABC career with XYZ revenue by time T because I want to create true freedom for my family. That is the language the subconscious listens to. That is how you send action signals into your internal operating system. Vague thinking equals vague results. That is not a warning, that is a law. And you now stand at a point of choice. Continue living by a blurred map or draw a new one, clear, steady, full of meaning. If you choose the latter, everything will begin to change. Not because the world suddenly becomes easier, but because inside you, at last, there is a direction that cannot be mistaken. And that you are fully capable of creating starting right now. Acting as if you already have what you desire is not a psychological trick. It is not a tiring pretense to hide the truth. And it is certainly not blind belief based on illusion. Acting as if is a profound spiritual principle used by those who have authored their own destinies. Those who wait for the perfect conditions before taking action will always remain in a reactive position. But those who decide from within and live as though what they desire is already an inevitable part of reality are the ones who shape the world. Not because they possess magic, but because they understand one truth. The subconscious does not distinguish between real and imagined. It only responds to what you act upon with consistency and emotion. You may not yet have success, but if you walk as if you are creating it every day, your subconscious will begin to receive the signal and automatically seek out all conditions that match the image you are living. You may not yet have financial freedom, but if you manage your money like someone with a system, operate like a founder, speak like someone who takes full responsibility for the value they generate, then every small habit will gradually restructure itself to produce that exact result. There is nothing mystical about this. It's a law. Live in the state you want to achieve, and everything will begin to form around that state. If you wait to feel confident before you take action, you will wait forever. Emotion is the result, not the cause. It comes after behavior. When you act as if, you are sending a signal to your subconscious. This is the role I choose. This is the identity I affirm. This is the new definition of who I am. And the subconscious, like a silent yet powerful servant, won't resist. It will simply comply. It will support. It will adjust. It will create a chain of responses that turn the life you're living into the reality you will possess. I'm not telling you to put on a show for others. Acting as if is not about pretending. It's an internal transformation that quietly unfolds and then expresses itself in how you walk, how you speak, how you respond. Someone who acts as if they are worthy no longer wastes time proving, complaining, or seeking permission. They don't need the crowd's approval. They don't wait for consensus. They act like someone with inner authority, and that is the true beginning of all stability. Think about the people you admire. They don't need applause to rise. They don't need a badge to lead. They don't wait for enough degrees, experience, or advice. They step into their roles. They write the script first, then live as though it's already been signed off.